Welcome to Competition Plus Reasoning class. Today we are going to see the second topic of your reasoning, that is the directions. So from grade 4 you have been learning about the four main directions which we know is north, south, east and west. Yes, the directions are highly helpful for us whenever we plan for a trip or a journey, right? So if you wanted to move from your house to any other place, like example to a temple, to a mall, or to a railway station, wherever you wanted to go, you first should know the route of the journey. To know the route, you should be very clear about the directions, to turn right, to turn left, and head towards your north, move towards your south. These are some of the directions which we should be very clear when we plan for moving out. So even in the GPRS facility, that is the very helpful one, the Google Maps also, if you are clear with the directions, we can just listen to it and move forward very clearly. So today we are going to see about the various aptitude questions based on the four directions, and this is very easy topic if you are clear with the directions. How to proceed on with the directions given in your question, that is the instructions from your question, and to solve such type of questions is what we are going to see today. This is very easy if you are paying some attention to the instructions of the question. If we fail to pay attention, then you are going to lose. So be very clear and pay attention to each and every word of the question, and then it is going to be an easy task for you. You can expect one or two questions from the directions topic in your competitive exams. Now let us get into the class. So yes, so we are going to see about the directions. Okay, the first slide is regarding the four main directions which we have, that is the north, south, east and west. Always remember that you are going to come in the clockwise direction. So north comes there, east, south and west. East and west are opposites to each other, north and south are opposite to each other. So their north and south is like top down approach, and east and west is like your right to left approach. If you are very clear with the position of the north, south, east, west place directions, you will get it very easy to solve these type of questions. Okay, so if you remember very well that east and west are opposite to each other, north and south are the next two opposites. Yeah. Apart from these four main directions, we have another four cardinal directions, right? So the other four cardinal directions are northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Here, these are the cardinal directions which is formed by bisecting the four main directions. Like, if you have the north here and west here, the northwest is nothing but the exact half of the angle between north and west. If I say this is the angle of north and west is 90 degree, and the exact half of it is 45 degree, right? So that 45 degree is your another direction, that is the northwest. Similar way, when it is comparing the north and east, it is northeast. When it is comparing south and east, southeast. When it is comparing south and west, it is southwest. Okay, so these are the other four cardinal directions. So totally 8 directions we are having, and these 8 directions are a must. You should not have any doubt in this. So please be very clear, four main directions and four cardinal directions which are formed by bisecting the main directions. You should remember that the words of the cardinal direction starts with the top down approach directions, north and south. It starts like northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest, not in the opposite way like east north. Okay, so top down approach, that is you will consider only the north and the south direction to form the cardinal directions. Okay, so next we are going to see about certain things which you should remember very well before approaching a direction based question. Got it? So the first thing which you should remember is at the time of sunrise, if a man stands facing his east, his shadow will be towards the west. So always you remember that if this is the light source, okay, if there is the light source in one side, in the opposite side you will have the shadow. Okay, in the opposite side, opposite to the light, you will have the shadow formation. If your light is here, then to its opposite side you will have the shadow. So remember that light source and the shadows are formed in the opposite direction. So let us consider the first point. If a person is standing in his east, towards the east, his shadow will be in the west. The same way, if he is in the west, the shadow will be formed in the north. If he is facing the east, So if the person is facing towards the north, the shadow will be formed facing the south. All right, let us move to the next point. Yeah, at the time of sunset, the shadow will be casted in the east direction, because you should know the some basic things that the sunrise will always happen in the east and the sunset will always happen in the west. So accordingly, the shadows will be formed. And the main thing which you should remember while solving the direction based questions is that is the person's right and left. Okay, so these are the four directions, that is the main directions. So if in your question example case the person is facing north in the sense, so he is facing the north, accordingly his right and left will be there. You imagine yourself as that particular third person given in the question. Okay, you are facing the north. Where is your right hand and where is your left hand? Accordingly, you imagine yourself as the question and try to solve the given problem. Okay, if you're facing towards the east, okay, now imagine yourself facing east. So which is your right? This is your right and this is your left. The same way, facing towards the south, this is your right and this is your left. When you turn towards the west, this would be your right and this would be your left. So based on the person's position, their right and left will vary. Remember that very well. Okay, so my best advice is to you imagine yourself standing in the prescribed direction or the location, and then consider the right and left and solve the problem. Let's move to the next point. Yeah, if a man stands facing north at that time of sunrise, his shadow will be towards his left, and the time of sunset, it will be towards his right. Okay, so yeah, a person is here, he's standing facing the north. This is his right and this is his left, right? Because you imagine yourself facing the north direction. Okay, so we know that the sunrise is always in the east. So this is the east and the sunset will always be in the west. As per the point number 1 and 2, the shadow will be casted only in the direction opposite to that of the light source. So in the sunrise, which is happening in the east, the light source is in the east and the shadow will be casted in the west. So during sunrise, the shadow will be casted to the left side of a person facing north. And during sunset, which happens in the west, the light source is in the west and the shadow will be casted in the opposite direction. That is nothing but your east. So it is obvious that the person who's standing facing towards the north will have the shadow formed towards their right during the evening time. Okay. Let's move to the next point. Yeah, at 12 noon, the rays of the sun are vertically downward and hence there will be no shadow. Yeah, this is the basic science concept which you would have learnt in your lower grades itself, that at exactly 12 noon, that is in the mid of your afternoon, at exactly between the time period of 12 to 2 p.m., you would experience that the sun is straight above to your head and there will be no shadow casted during that time interval. So it is understood that there is no shadow means the shadow falls on the object itself. Shadows are, there is no existence of shadow means it makes nonsense. So you should understand the fact that the shadow is obtained on the object itself. It is not either to the right or left of the object. That is the concept behind this point. Yeah. And the last point is always rainbows will occur opposite to that of the sun. Okay. So rainbows are casted in the direction opposite to that of the sun. Let's move to the example sums. Okay. Your first question is Ashik walks southwards, then takes a half right turn and then a left turn. In which direction is he walking now? And you have the options listed there. Okay, so now my best advice to you is to follow the very easy steps to solve the direction based question. Remember the points which we saw in the first two slides. Got it? You have to remember like the north, west, south and east directions properly, and then remember the right and left of the person based on the direction he is facing. Okay, and then solve it by drawing the diagrammatic representation of the given question. If you imagine or if you do the mind calculation, you may miss sometimes. So my best advice is to draw the diagram according to the instructions of the question and then come up with the conclusion. Okay, now as per your question, Ashik walks southwards. Okay, this is your south. So Ashik is here. Okay, he is facing the south. In the sense, it is understood this is his right and this is his left. Now you imagine yourself facing towards the south. So which would be your right and which would be your left. Okay, and then he's taking a right turn. Okay, he's going to make a right turn. Now we saw which is his right. Yeah, so this was his right and this was his left. He's making a right turn and then a left turn. So at this point, he's in this point now. Okay, and this is his second position after making a right turn. So he's making the left turn as his third movement. At this position, this is his right and this is his left. So he should again make a left turn. So this is the left turn he's making as the third movement. Now, what is being asked? In which direction is he walking now? So it is obvious. So this was his starting point. Let us mark that as A. And this is B. That is the second movement by taking a right turn. And this is the final position C. That is the third movement. Now, in which direction is he walking now? Imagine your direction chart. Okay, so we have the north, south, east, west here, right? So in which direction is he facing and moving now? That is nothing but the south direction. So I feel this as the most comfortable and easiest way to predict the answer for direction based questions. When you draw the diagram or when you draw the map of the question, it is very much easy. Let's move to the next question. Yeah. A man walks northwards. After a while, he turns to his right and a little further to his left. Finally, after walking a distance of 1 kilometer, he turns towards his left again. In which direction is he moving now? Okay, so let's solve this by drawing the map of the question. A person is moving towards the north. So when you are facing north, this should be your right and this should be your left. Follow the question again. After a while, he turns to his right. Now he's moving towards his right. And a little further to his left. At the second position, at each position, when each turn the person is making, remember his right and left. I advise you to write it there in your map diagram. You write which is right and which is left at each movement, so that you will not confuse. So now this is his right and this is his left. He's making a left turn. Okay, he's making his left turn as a third movement, and he's moving for a distance of 1 kilometer. Okay, this is 1 kilometer. All right. So yeah, he's making a movement for 1 kilometer. And then he again makes the left turn. Okay, he again makes the left turn. So at the third movement point, you should mark his right and left again. So this is his right and this is his left. If he again moves, okay, if he is again moving here, yeah, he's moving again towards his right, towards his left. So now he is in which direction? It is obvious that is he is in the west direction. Got it? Let's move to the next interesting question. A man started walking, positioning his back towards the sun. Very, very interesting question. After some time, he turned left, then turned right, and then turned towards the left again. In which direction is he going now? Good. So this person is moving by in the opposite direction to that of the sun. We doesn't know whether it is the morning or the evening. It's just given in your question that he is facing his back towards the sun. He's moving in the opposite side of the sun. It may be sunset or sunrise also. Yeah. After some time, he turned left. So let us imagine now this is the sunrise time. Okay. If he is in the sunrise position. Okay. So what would happen now? So if he is facing in the sunrise, the sun will be in the east. As per our question, he is walking, his positioning is back towards the sun. So in the sense, he is moving towards his west. That is the clue here. After some time, he turned left. So at this position, you should mark his right and this is his left. He's turning left now. Okay, he's turning left. And then he turned right. In the second position, this is his right and this is his left. Now he's moving left. Sorry, he's moving right. That is the third question. Point is, movement is he's moving towards his right. And then again turning towards the left. So this is his right and this is his left here. So again moving left. In which direction is he going now? So as per the condition, if I consider that the sun is in the east, considering the daytime, that is in the sunrise period, the person moves towards the south. Okay, what would happen if it is in the evening time, or if the person is like if he is moving in the evening time towards the west? So if it is in the sunset, sun sets in the west, so he's moving in the position by placing his back towards the sun. So it is understood that he's moving towards the east. Now his right and left would change, right? This is his right and this is his left. So he's making a left turn. In the question, it's given that the person makes a left turn. And then he again makes a right turn. Okay, so this is his left and this is his right here. He is making a right turn. And then again towards his left, he moves. So in the last position, after finishing his walk, he is now facing the north. So since you did not have a clear idea from the question whether it is the sunset or sunrise, the person's location was not clearly mentioned. You are having two cases to think over. That is the sunset or sunrise period. So that is why in the option you have both north or south. If you consider it as sunset, he will be in the north at the end of his journey. Or if you consider it as sunrise, he will be in the south direction at the end of his journey. Got it? You need to think in the either ways also if the questions are not with the proper clues. That is the main aim of giving that example case question. So let's move to the next question. A man went 10 kilometers towards south, then turned east and covered 10 kilometers and turned to the right. Again, after 10 kilometers, he turned to the left and covered 10 kilometers to reach the destination. How far and in which direction is he to his starting point? So this is another interesting question where they have asked you to calculate the distance of the person's journey. From his starting point to his ending point, what was the entire journey's distance and in which direction is he headed now? So let's see how to solve this question. Okay, so first he is moving in the south 10 kilometer and then turned east. We know the main directions north, south, east, west. Accordingly, you can proceed on. So he's moving in the east 10 kilometer and then he turned to his right and again he moved 10 kilometers. So at this position, this is his right. He moves 10 kilometer. Then he is again moving towards his left. So I shall draw it here again because there is no enough space. So first he is moving south, then east, then left, and then here. Another 10 kilometer to this is his. So this is his starting point. Let us mark it as A and the ending point as B. Okay, so let us first find out in which direction he is moving. Okay, this is the point starting and this is his ending point. So which direction is he now? As per our chart, this is somewhat in the diagonal direction. So diagonal means you should remember about your cardinal directions. Okay, your cardinal directions like your northwest, northeast, southwest and southeast. So now imagine from his starting point, because your question have asked his direction with respect to his starting point. Okay, so from the starting point, he seems to be towards the southeast. Yeah, sometimes your question may be asked in the way like, what is his direction at the end of his journey? So if so, okay, the answer for this question would be like in the east. Yes or no? So according to the question, what are they asking? Whether are they comparing it with the starting point or with his ending point? Are they asking the direction? You please read the question properly and then try to give the conclusion. Yeah. Now the direction is found. What is the other question asked here is how far is he from the starting point? So we need to calculate the distance. How to calculate the distance, ma'am? Very, very easy. So this is what our diagram is. 10, 10, 10 and 10. That is what the distance covered by the person. The distance between the starting and the ending point is what we have to find now. That is, you are finding the diagonal of this map. Now, you project this line like here and here so that they make the same sentence. Sorry, distance. It makes like a triangle, a right angle triangle. Okay, we need to find the diagonal and this side is 20 and this side is 20. Okay, now applying your Pythagoras theorem, the diagonal sides value, that is the distance, would be 20 root 2 kilometer and the direction is in southeast. Okay, very easy question. Right? It requires your presence of mind and the logic which you apply there. Let's move to the next question. Yeah. A man went 15 kilometers to the north. Okay, let us Draw the map as I read each sentence. 15 kilometers in the north. And then he turned west and covered 10 kilometers. Okay, towards his west, he has covered 10. He turned south and covered 5. Okay. Finally, he turned to the east and covered 10. Okay, he has moved to his original starting pathway itself by traveling to another 10 kilometers towards his east. Now, in which direction is he from his house? That is your question. Very easy, right? So, this is his starting point and this is his ending point. Let us mark this as A and B. So, from A, what is the direction of his ending point? That is facing the north. So, the right answer is north. Simple question. Within 30 seconds, we have solved it. Only if you're clear with the basics and if you draw the diagram properly, it is a very, very simple one to you. The next question, Roshan walks 10 meters westwards. Yeah, mark it towards the west as 10. And then he turns left and walks 10 meters. So towards west, which is your right and left, imagine and write correctly. So this is your right and this is your left. Yeah. So towards the left, he makes a turn and walks for 10 meters. He then again turns left. Yeah. This is his 10 kilometers towards the left turn. And here he takes a 45-degree to his right and walks straight. So at this point, this is his right and this is his left. He's making a 45-degree turn. So in your question, it can be like he's making a half right turn or a 45-degree turn or a 90-degree turn or a 180-degree turn. Some of your degrees also can be included in your question. You should be clear with their angle. Okay, this makes a 45-degree turn that is towards his right and he's moving straight in it. The question asked here is, in which direction is he walking now? Okay, so this was his starting point. That is, let us mark it as SP, starting point. This is his ending point. Okay, so now, which direction is he from the starting point? That is obviously the cardinal direction, because diagonals or any 45-degree kind of a movement in the direction is made. It is understood that it is your cardinal direction, that is the southeast direction. So the next one is after his office hours in the evening. Okay, it's clearly mentioned in your question as evening. So it is the sunset time, right? Gowtham starts walking facing the sun. So he's walking towards the sunset. So he's making a move towards the west. First, he turns to his right. So he's turning towards his right now. And then he turns towards his left. Okay, towards his left. After walking for some meters to his left, he again makes a right turn. He makes a right turn. Now, in which direction is he moving? He's heading towards the north. So the correct answer is north. Not even 30 seconds to solve this, I hope. If you're clear, it is simple. The simple reasoning question you can expect from this topic. All right. Yeah. Another interesting question. Amit's office is situated 5 kilometers north of Ben's office. Okay. So your question is like Ben's office is here. And from there, in the north direction, when we move 5 kilometers, it is Amit's office. Got it? So Ben starts from his office and walks 2 kilometers. So he is now here by walking 2 kilometers. And then he turns right. So he's turning towards his right. Because a person, when he's facing north, his right is here and his left is here. Now he's making a right turn and moving 3 kilometers. To which direction will he, and then turns left. I skipped these words. And then turn left and walks 3 kilometers. He's now making a left turn and moving 3 kilometers. Okay, so this is the point where he is ending his journey now. This is the end. To which direction will he turn to reach Amit's office? So Amit's office is here. Ben is here now. To which direction he should turn? Towards his west. Simple. Okay, but the thing is, you should be very clear of situating the two persons' office. Okay, if you misplace their office location, then the entire question may go wrong. So read the question very carefully. Let's move to the next question. A lady leaves her home and walks 30 meters in the northwest direction. Here comes your cardinal direction, northwest. So you should first know which is the northwest direction. This is the northwest. And he's moving 30 kilometers. And then 30 kilometers in the southwest. This is southwest and then 30 kilometers. And then 30 meters in the southeast. This is the southeast direction. She is moving 30 meters here. Finally, she turns towards her house. So this was her house actually. From there, she started a journey. I'm marking it as H. Finally, she turning towards her house means this is the direction towards her house. So in which direction is she moving now? Simple. It is the northeast. Okay. Yeah. Next. Deepak walks 8 kilometers east. So this is the east. He is moving 8 kilometers and turns southwest. Okay. So southwest means you should know which is the southwest direction. This is the southwest direction and walks another 8 kilometers. He again takes a turn towards the northwest. We draw the northwest like this and walks for another 8 kilometers. Got it? Yeah. So what has been asked? In which direction is he from his starting point and he is standing now? So initially he was here and there only he started to move 8 kilometers. Yeah. From his starting point to his ending point, he remains in the same position only. But it is understood that he did not reach to the original point itself. There is no word in your question stating that he came back to his starting point itself. So you should understand that he's in the last path of his journey. So he is now moving in the northwest direction only. Okay. So in which direction is he away from his starting point now? So he is away from his starting point like by in which direction is that is nothing but in the northeast. Got it? Let's move to the next question. Now, the school is to the west of the hospital. So hospital is here means to its west we have the school. The hospital is to the south of the police post. So this hospital is located by comparing with another landmark, that is the police post. From the police post to the south lies the hospital. And the workshop is to the north of the school. So school is here. To the north we have the workshop. If these four places are equidistant, what is the meaning of the word equidistant? Equidistance means they are equally distanted from each other. Okay, that is they are like in the position of forming a square where all the four sides are equal. The same way these four places are located at equal distance from each other. Then to which direction of workshop is the police post? So this is nothing but the east direction. So yeah, So there you may even expect questions like your comprehensive type, that is the all the instructions required will be given in the first. Based on that, certain questions can be asked. So how to approach these type of questions in the sense, you need to draw the map first, and then corresponding to the question asked, again go through the route of the question and then answer. Okay, let's solve this so that you will get a clear idea. Joe walks 2 kilometers towards north. So Joe is walking in the north 2 kilometers. And then he is turning towards his right and walks 4 kilometers. He then again turns towards his right and walks 4 kilometers. And then again turns to his right and walks 4 kilometers. Here he meets Renu, okay, who is coming from the opposite direction, and they both stop there. So when he is coming here, when Joe approaches here, he could see Renu approaching in the opposite direction. So they both stopped there, okay, and then they are waiting. Actually, the diagram will look like this, because 2 kilometers, you should show the variation. Because the distances will show as clearly like where we are now. So 4 is actually greater than 2, right? So Joe is finally moving here. Okay, another 4 kilometers is moving. From to in the opposite, Renu is coming. Okay. So after taking his first turn, in which direction was Joe going? So this is the first turn. This is the first turn. I'm marking it with a circle so that we don't confuse with the distance marked. Okay. So after making the first turn, in which direction is Joe going? Towards his east. So the answer is east. Okay. Yeah. What is the next question? If the starting point, you will get the options, but I thought let us solve it. No issues. If the starting point is marked as A, okay, let us mark it as A. Starting point as A. And the finishing point is marked as B. This is the finishing point, right? So if that is marked as B, okay, what will be the distance between A and B? Obviously understood. Like your the journey of Joe and Renu represents like a rectangle, and the missing distance, the difference between A and B is 2 kilometers. Okay. From which direction was Renu coming? From which direction was Renu coming from? From the west. Okay, simple questions. After taking the second turn, in which direction was Joe walking? Okay, he is now in his second turn. So this is his second turn. I'm marking it with a circle because the indication should not confuse you, right? So in the second turn, he is moving towards the south. So the correct answer is south, option A. 16th question. If Joe is to again reach the point from where he started, in which direction he has to go now? So this is the ending point of Joe. I have marked it as B, and this is the starting point A. So from B, if he wants to move back to A, in which direction he has to head to? That is the north. So the correct answer will be north, option B. Very simple question. If you understand the given instructions in the beginning of all the questions, or the remaining questions asked from there would be easy for you. Yes. So next question is, from her house, Mamta walked 6 kilometers in the northeast direction. So she's moving in the, northeast. Okay. So northeast, she is moving 6 kilometers to reach a shop. From there, she took a right turn. So when she is moving in the northeast, this is her right and this is her left. She's making a right turn. Okay, exactly in the right, she's moving another 6 kilometers to reach the friend's house. How far is she from her friend's house? So this is the journey of Mamta from A to B. They are asking you the distance between A and B. So what do? We feel like this is forming like a triangle. That is nothing but your right angle triangle. Use the Pythagoras theorem and solve it. So it is nothing but Pythagoras theorem is square root of the sum of square of the other two sides. 6 square plus 6 square. It is nothing but root 72. Option A is the correct answer. Next, the last question. One morning after sunrise, Sumesh and Ratish were standing on a lawn with their back towards each other. Sumesh's shadow fell exactly towards his left-hand side. Which direction was Ratish facing? Okay, children. So if you see this question, this is having so many clues inside it, but you need to just derive the clues from the indirect words given here. So one morning after sunrise, so it is understood that it is the daytime. In the sunrise, the light will be, that is sun will be in the east. Sumesh and Ratish were standing on a lawn facing their back towards it. They were not facing towards each other, only their backs were facing each other. They were turned in the other direction. So now Sumesh's shadow fell exactly towards his left hand. Okay, so if the shadow is falling in the left hand side of him means it's understood that in the daytime the shadow always forms in the west. So Sumesh left is here means his right is in the east. So if a person's right and left are here, that is in the east and west respectively, it's understood that the person is facing the north. So Sumesh is facing the north. From this, it's clear that their backs are towards each other means Ratish is facing the south. Okay, so Ratish direction is nothing but south. Very simple question, but if you confuse it, you can confuse it to the core. But if you feel very easy and derive with the correct wordings and the correct senses of your direction, it's a simple one. Okay, so I have given almost all the types of questions that could be asked from this topic directions. Each and every questions are of different one, which requires your presence of mind and the basics which I gave you in the beginning of this session. Implement those and solve it by drawing the map of the question given, so that it is a very easy one to you and you can easily score full marks. Okay, children. So let us meet you with another new topic in the next video. Thank you.